So Bloodborne was my first exposure to Souls games.
Mm.
I had always heard about Dark Souls, and I always heard about Demon Souls, and I never played them because I was just like I was of that mentality of why would I play something that I'm gonna get frustrated about? And I always fight that mentality now. I always kind of tell people like it's not the point of being frustrated, it's the point of
Accomplishment.
the accomplishment, yeah, like feeling rewarded. And so when I got exposed to Bloodborne, it interested me more than Dark Souls because of the gothic, style
Motif.
of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it looked like vampires and werewolves and all this crazy shit. And I was just like, wow, and which the game is completely it's aliens. The game is about fucking aliens. But I remember going into the Queen's Mall and I saw Bloodborne on sale for like $40. Was it $40? I know it had come out that year. I got it the same year it was out. I think it was like 50 something bucks on sale like GameStop, and I bought it. And I played it. This wasn't that hard. This isn't hard at all. And I got to what the fuck is the name? The first boss fight, it's the giant screaming wolf looking thing.
Oh, the tree thing on the bridge. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I fought him. He killed me like once or twice, and then I beat him, and I was like, okay, this isn't that hard. I can do this. Regular, gaming skills. I got this. And I got to Father Gascoigne, and I will never forget that boss fight.
Where he
He
transformed.
fucked me up. I was on that game till like 4 a.m. when I finally beat him. But yo, that boss fight, I love that boss fight. It's still one of my favorite boss fights ever because that boss fight teaches you the game. Because it's like, yeah, you can fight this beast thing, which you don't have to. You can skip him. He's an optional boss fight. But Father Gascoigne is what teaches you like this is how you play the game. You need to parry, you need to attack, because in the beginning of the game, I would just shoot my gun. I'd just be like, pew,
Yep, and then wait for them to come at you. Smack,
pew,
smack,
pew.
smack.
Yeah. I didn't know that, like, I didn't read. I'm an idiot. So, like, when they go attack you, you parry them. So, I was like, because the fight would start with him, and I'd be like, bah, 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 bah. And I was like, that did no damage. Why do I got a fucking gun? I was like, I should have picked the shotgun. So, I remember like reading around through the menus and stuff, and they tell you how to like what parry is. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, so I tried it, and I was like, oh my god, I can attack him in the visceral attacks and shit, and then he transforms into the big fucker. Well, first he has the axe, and he turns into the long axe, and then he turns into the big fucker. So the game consistently with that boss fight makes you always adapt. He's up in your face with the small axe, so you have to parry a lot, and consistently pressure or juke around pressure. And then with the long axe, he's keeping his distance most of the time, so you have to dodge behind him and pressure. And then with the beast, he's just again consistently on your ass, and he's massive and he's fast as fuck. So you can't just pressure him; you have to now parry him and time your attacks. So in that one fight, you literally get the mechanics of the game. And I don't think I struggled much after that because of that fight. And that was what made me fall in love with Bloodborne. Because people think that the game doesn't teach you how to play because it has a lackluster looking tutorial. It does. And if you're not familiar with video games, you're going to have a hard time reading it. But it's in its gameplay that it teaches you. And I think that that's something that gaming communities and video game devs don't understand now is when you played video games back then, you learned playing. you know? And when you played Crash, they didn't teach you what a slide jump was. You learned that shit. You learned like, oh, if I slide and jump, I can go higher. Or if I crouch jump, I can go higher. And or you would learn through learn of mouth with your friends because your friend bought a fucking GamePro magazine. Whatever it was. So that's what made me definitely fall in love with the Soul series.
Yeah, we've been saying this for the longest. I would say for like the past like 2 or 3 years that the absence of a game over screen is very detrimental to the video game experience because
Yeah.
you're not really learning anything. That's why now everyone's like, oh, this is the Dark Souls of blah blah blah. This is
Mm-hmm.
that of this. Just because no one is giving you a game over screen, like everyone just feels like they're never losing. Like my like I feel like my best example is the Tomb Raider games where
Yeah.
they're like constantly auto saving and like you can jump off a cliff but it respawns you right there. So like there's never any reason for you to learn how to do something because you can just keep being cheap until you
Yeah.
win.
You just
Crazy.
keep mashing instinct.
Yeah.
That's something that I also like about Returnal, which in Returnal, again, you learn through its gameplay. You pick up a weapon, you read its weapon, you read how it works, and you read passages and info and little papers you find, and they tell you basically what you need to do, how you need to do it. So you have to find the answer, and that's again, it goes back to Village. And my issue with Village is that there's never a sense of accomplishment and there's never a sense of discovery because the game is consistently guiding you and handing you where you need to go. And if you don't know where to go, the Duke is going to tell you anyways. He's going to mark it all on a map. And even then, everything he marks on the map isn't even crucial to your journey. It's just there to help you, like, get money.
Yeah, things aren't really a secret if you know where they are.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it just took away your lack of exploration. Like I feel like with RE2 Remake, even though it was more linear than RE2, there was still a sense of exploration in RE2 Remake because no one helped you in that game. It was Leon. You found the map, and only thing Marvin told you was you gotta get these 3 things. Get this, and you took your map and you used your map to find hidden items, hidden treasures, which will be like bigger weapons or things to unlock other hidden items, and you find your keys. That was the Resident Evil experience, and RE Village just lacked that. Not to say it's a bad game. These games are not bad if they hold your hand. They're not bad.
They're
Like
just bad
I
REs.
like, yeah, and I like the Tomb Raider game. I like the reboot Tomb Raider game. They're fun. They're fun, just mindless whatever, Uncharted tells you what you need to climb, but Uncharted is an amazing game. All 3 of those games are fantastic. 4 of those games are fantastic.
But with those games, it's different though because the story excels the
Yeah,
amount of gameplay that you're in. As to where with the
exactly.
Tomb Raider games, like the stories aren't that great. So it's like, what replay
Mm-hmm.
value is there to these games? Like, why
Yeah.
am I ever gonna want to experience this again? Like, I'm not feeling anything. Like, I never feel accomplished. That's why so many people go through the Dark Souls and like the Souls games again because you're like,
Mm-hmm.
let me see if I can do this with XYZ weapon. Can I do this with XYZ build? You
Yeah.
can't do that with Tomb Raider. There's no experience for that.
Mm-hmm. And I would say that with Tomb Raider 1, the first reboot, I played that game 2 or 3 times. That one is the most solid one out of the 3, but the second one is very handholdish. Like it basically babies you. There's a mechanic in the second one that if you don't find anything, the instinct applies itself.
Yes. And then in the third one, they
And
gave you the option to turn it off or
to
turn it
turn
back
it off.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair. So like Hitman 3 gives you the option to be assisted or not. Because Hitman, you can play the game however the fuck you want. And so when you turn off the hand helper thing, the game becomes super sandbox. But like I can tell you right now, Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4, I beat in those games at least 5 times each.
The story. So that makes sense.
And just playing the game on the hardest difficulty is some of the most rewarding shit ever. It's so much fucking fun. Just knowing that you're gonna die in 2 bullets. It's so good. And that's again, it goes back to The Last of Us 2. Playing that game on the hardest difficulty is a lot of fun. Dying in 1 hit, so fucking rewarding. But, I guess that's a little TED Talk of ours. I can upload this little segment here.
Yeah.
About us fucking talking about hand holding in video games. Goes to Bloodborne. And I guess it's a little Bloodborne appreciation video because that game deserves all the love and appreciation that it gets. And FromSoft really hits home with it 100%. And
Yeah.
even in okay,
I was gonna say it's unfortunate that there's not like a part 2 and there's not even like a PS5 port for it.
yeah, and I think that's PlayStation's fault, to be honest. It is Sony thing, but whatever.